Can you guys talk a little bit about your first day or your first little bit in the real world, and what were some surprises for you? Can you talk a little bit about that transition period?
I think the earlier you start thinking about the real world and addressing those issues, thinking about insurance, if you go ahead and start now and you're going, okay, if I were to go out there, what are all the things that I would need to understand, take care of, address? The earlier we start thinking about it, the less of a jolt it is when we graduate. I saw, within my friends, was all of a sudden graduation day hit, and then the next day people started thinking about, oh my gosh, I'm on my own. Start thinking about that now, don't wait till graduation.
I want to say something about when you first walk in, your first day, you're so excited about having a job, and you're a big girl or big boy, and you're here with all these people who've been here. The biggest thing that I would suggest is to just soak it all in first and try to figure out what the culture of the organization is. Start adapting and seeing if this is some place that you're going to be able to fit and to flow with. Each place is different, so my biggest advice is to go in there with your eyes open, ready to learn, ready to contribute the skills that you have, but also just seeing what they have out there and what the environment of your organization is.
Whenever I finished up at TCU, I actually wanted to take a year off. I went to Spain for a couple of months, and then I went to Vail, and I was a ski instructor. The fact is, that year off, I learned more about myself than I thought I ever would. If you're able to take some time off, I do recommend it, and I know the employers that I've spoken to really encourage it, because I think you took some time to be able to recoup and maybe discover a little bit more about yourself.
Bouncing off of what you said about learning about yourself and really knowing yourself, I want you all to think back to your first day on campus when you walked on the TCU campus and you had no idea what was going on, and you saw all these upperclassmen who just had it all together and they had their life figured out. And you're those upperclassmen, you're the ones that these freshmen are looking up to thinking, man, they know everything. Sit back for a second and remember, they hired you for a reason. They hired you for this job, and it's a learning curve. And you may not have all the information you need on the first day, but it's okay. Give yourself some credit, give yourself some time. It will take you a few years or a few months to get to the point where you feel like, yes, I have this job, it's me, I know what I'm doing. So give yourself time to adapt to the learning curve and ask questions. Don't worry if you don't have it all on the first day.
My biggest piece of advice would be on your first day in the real world, find a mentor. Find someone at the job who's been there a while, who's still relatively young and can relate to you and what you're going through, and just ask as many questions as you can. And in that regard too, have a mentor outside of work, someone that you can call and ask questions about. And so I would definitely recommend finding that person for you and doing the same thing.
Fact is, you're here. Your peers are sitting in bed. They're, taking the morning off. If you take this kind of drive and this kind of desire to improve yourself professionally right now, you're going to do the same when you go out into your job.